I think we already talked a little bit about sleep earlier. You said you sleep 7.5 hours roundabout. I think I sleep about the same time. But it depends because I sleep without an alarm. So sometimes I sleep longer. Sometimes I even sleep only 6 hours. But we both do sports on most weeks of the day. And I notice in comparison to when I take a break from sports, for example, when I'm sick, that I need more sleep. Quite a bit of more sleep when I exercise than without. Without, when I was sick, I actually woke up every day after like 6 hours of sleep, but I need much more when I exercise. Nevertheless, we both have the opinion that exercise is important, even as a programmer, right? Even though the typical image of a programmer is someone who just sits in front of the PC all day, but this will also make you less productive and it will just cause problems down the road.
Yeah, I think it really also helps you to focus, because I think in most cases having a healthy body also leads to having a healthy mind.
Yes.
So I really that's also a good way to just to have that fixed time off, so that I know, okay, I have these 2 hours every day where I'm just for myself. I work out, I care for my body, because of course if I have a rest day and I don't do any sports, then I get more stuff done. I just have more time. But I don't think if I would do that on every day, so if I would completely stop working out, then I would have more time, but I wouldn't use that time as good as I can use it now. And I think that is really what sports and eating healthy does.
Yeah, and it also keeps your mind healthy. You already mentioned that, but it also avoids stuff like depression often. If you're out of shape and you eat like trash, then it's easier to get into bad cognitive states, get into depression and this stuff.
Best therapy.
Yes. And finally, I get often my best ideas at the end of the gym exercise, of a gym workout. It's funny because it's always at the end. I work out like 90 minutes and then suddenly, boom, I get a solution for a problem or something like that. It happens so often. It's so funny. But it's important that you take your mind really off a problem from time to time. And because it's not your consciousness that actually solves problems. It's not this thinking about something. Actually, the part of the mind that really solves problems is the subconscious part. So when you don't think actively about something, then you really solve problems and come up with new connections.
That's also why so often you wake up and you suddenly have a solution to your problem.
Yeah, the same happens in sleep, right?
Your mind was working all night to solve that.
Yeah, and exercising is also a good way to get out of the house, sometimes to get around people, especially when you work from home.
I'm actually shocked that so many people in my age already have back problems and neck problems. And I think exercise is the best way to prevent that.
Yeah, I can only say that my sitting posture is often bad, but I still never had any back problems, probably because I exercise and I do deadlifts and all that stuff.
Yes.
And even though I sometimes sit like a troll with a rounded back, I never had any problems.
Yeah. Same.
So yeah, you should do some form of exercise. I mean, you don't have to become a meathead in the gym. You can just, I don't know, what I started recently, as you already know, is Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, which is an awesome, great form of doing exercise. It's so much fun. And I think if you don't want to go to the gym, you want to do something more fun, then something like this, a martial art, for example, can be a nice way to get exercise in.
Just moving.
Yeah.
If it's tennis, table tennis, whatever you enjoy, it's fine. As long as you use your body for what it's intended to be used.
Yeah, and it's such an intense kind of, I don't want to advertise Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu here, but it's such a great kind of workout because it's fun and the time flies and you sweat so much because it's so intense, but it's great. It's not boring at all. I can understand that gym is boring for many people because you do 1 rep, 2 rep, 3. I love it actually. I really enjoy weightlifting, but I understand that many people don't really like that. But yeah, find some kind of exercise. Otherwise, you will regret it later. And also just looking better is a good reason in itself already. Okay, that's it for the health part, I think. We talked about sports, sleep. Nutrition, of course, is also important.
Yes.
Both for staying in shape, but also for mental abilities. What you eat has a lot of effect on how clear you can think. Doesn't mean you have to eat boring stuff all the time. You can still enjoy food, but I don't know. You should probably not eat pizza and sweets all day. Then you will not function properly. But if you
For
learn
nothing.
to, yeah, but if you learn to cook a little bit, then you can actually make amazing, nice tasting food and still eat healthy.
And the more often you actually eat healthy, the less you want all these cheats. That's at least the case for me.
Yeah,
Sometimes
that's very
I do
true.
want to have a pizza, but compared to when I was a teenager or so, it's much more rare.
Yeah, it's really good point, because I feel like taste buds or your brain adapts to how intense the stuff tastes you eat. So for example, if you are used to eating sweets and ice cream all day, then something like an apple tastes super boring because it just can't compete with the intenseness of the sweetness. But if you don't eat sweets all day and you eat vegetables and other stuff like potatoes, I don't know, then something like an apple becomes super delicious again, because it has, the sweetness is relative to the stuff you usually eat, very intense. So I think your brain somehow gets used to the stuff I eat. I remember I had a time in my early 20s where I eat only trash. I eat pizza and sweets and drank cola all day. Needless to say that I was completely out of shape at this time. But at a certain point, even the pizza stops tasting delicious if you eat it all the time, because you just adapt to this stuff. So if you eat healthy and make fast food just something you eat from time to time, then it will also taste much better again. This is definitely an observation I made as well.
Yes, me too.
Okay, that's it for the nutrition part. Don't underestimate this. It's really important.